So Larkin, why don't you tell us how is voting an act of aggression, and how does someone who votes condone violence against his neighbors?
Well, this is one of the weirder things about the belief in government and authority, because it's one of those things that people, they don't know and they totally do know. And here's why I say that. If you go up to somebody and you say, you just voted for that guy, you're condoning violence against me. They say, what are you talking about? No, I just voted. I didn't attack you. I didn't do anything. But if you walk them through it, there's no part of the chain of what actually happens that they're unaware of. You say, okay, you vote for that guy. What's your goal? Well, to have him get into office. Okay, then what does he do? Well, he enacts laws. Okay, these laws, are they polite suggestions? Is he going to give me some helpful advice, like eat lots of wheat? It'll give me colon cancer. Well, no, he's not just giving you advice. They're laws. You have to obey the laws. Okay, or else what? Or else consequences. Like what? Like you get put in prison or you get fined. Okay, so you're electing a guy who you know is going to get up there and he's going to use power over me to force me to do what he thinks I should do and to force me to give him my money and hurt me if I don't. And it's one of those things that if you put it literally, it makes everybody uncomfortable, even though they know every bit of it. It's not like they say, oh gosh, I didn't know they like imprison people who don't pay. Everybody knows they do. So, like I said, they totally know that there's violence behind it all, but they go into this weird intentional blindness to pretend that voting is some, this is my voice and how we work together as a people. No, it's how you violently impose your agenda on me by way of a third party. And when you put it that way, almost everybody gets uncomfortable because they don't. It's a good sign. It's a good sign that they get uncomfortable because they don't want to admit that they're advocating violence, because in most cases they know that's bad. But if you walk them through it, they know that that's the end result. You vote for somebody, you're putting someone in a position of power who's going to violently impose his agenda, his beliefs, his values, his ideas on millions of human beings. And that's not okay, as much as we're taught all the happy garbage about how great democracy is. No, it isn't. It's fighting over what the guy with the club is going to do with it, who he's going to hit and why. That's not noble or civilized. It's violent thuggery. So that's my relatively short answer.
What is the double standards to use violence in people who believe in government?
Well, yeah, these people would never do it. The vast majority of people who vote for somebody to steal my money under threat of hurting me for, whatever, pay for the war machine, pay for welfare state, pay for schools, pay for whatever they hope the government's going to pay for. If I say, well, tell you what, how about if we just skip the middleman? We do this openly and honestly. You come to my house with a gun, you point it at me, you tell me how much money to give you, and I give it to you. So, we can do away with the game and the joke and the facade that this is legitimate and somehow nonviolent and peaceful. Just do it directly. And everybody says, no, I would never do that. Well, then why would you vote for somebody else to do it? Which is what they all do. And they really, even in their own heads, they don't grasp that basically the exact same act is the exact same act. If you rob me yourself at gunpoint, or you have somebody else rob me at gunpoint, or you vote for somebody else to rob me, it's the same thing. But people are taught to believe that this thing called government and authority, that they have the right to do this to people. So they don't perceive it as, they don't even perceive it as violence, because they think, well, that's law, that's tax collection, and it's necessary, and of course we have to have that. And they have all these excuses they've been taught where that leads them to see something that in any other situation they would know it's immoral, it's evil, it's uncivilized, it's horribly destructive. But in the context of government, they suddenly think it's okay and good and necessary and a great thing to do. And they're wrong.